co-stars.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Mike, can you lead us in prayer?
Father, thank you for the 69 years this brother's had so far. Thank you. This is the beginning of the best year of his life. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Also, we'd like to present to you some cards, and also the congregation would like to present to you this gift. And we'd like to thank you for being our preacher and teaching us the word, even though this morning was a little rough. It was rough. But it was rough.
Isn't any gift that would be enough?
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you. But from all of us and your flock, we just want to say we love you and thank you so much for being with us.
I like that. That's neat.
Is that some kind of stone?
Yeah.
So,
That is Bruce.
Y'all best look out because I can beat you with that cross.
Will that be a blessing then?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You'll relish every knot.
That looks.
How many of you know? I told them only you will know how weird my brain gets from this.
I ran a few trips with you.
How many of you know what a fence is for?
Keep things in and out.
Huh?
Keep things in and out.
Okay.
A division. Somebody you take your stolen goods to. Somebody you take your stolen goods to.
Oh, okay.
Marker.
It's a boundary line.
Boundary line,
Marker.
marker. You know, it depends on where you are. That we found that out yesterday, didn't we? In Jeff Davis County, a fence is to keep other people out.
Yes.
It is not to keep your stuff in.
Correct.
Now, the reason for that is Jeff Davis is a free-range county. So if you have a county in Texas that's not a free-range county, then a fence is for a different purpose. It's to keep people out and keep things in. Okay? Now, I want to talk a little bit about that. Okay? Laws. Okay? What laws apply to us? Okay, let's take earthly laws. Okay? We live in the DMR. So the DMR documents, the covenants and bylaws, they apply to us. They're applicable to us. However, the DMR is in Jeff Davis County. So the bylaws and rules of the DMR apply unless they conflict with the laws of Jeff Davis County. Then the laws of Jeff Davis County supersede those rules. Now, Jeff Davis County happens to sit in the great state of Texas. So the laws of Jeff Davis County apply unless they come in conflict with the laws of the great state of Texas. Then the laws of Texas supersede those laws. And of course, Texas sits in the United States of America. And Texas law applies to Texans only unless they conflict with the Constitution of the United States of America. Then that law applies. Okay? Now, are there other laws that we're subject to? Yes, we are. Because we also reside in the kingdom of Christ. So his laws apply. Let's go back a little bit to see how we look at that sometimes. Okay? You know, sometimes we'll take this book and we'll contend that this is our book of law. Well, it's not really. Part of it is, but not all of it. Okay? Because the law of Moses applies only to the people who live under it. Doesn't apply to anybody else. The law of Moses did not apply to Adam and Eve because they didn't live under the law of Moses. The law of Moses did not apply to Abraham because he didn't live under the law of Moses. The law of Moses applied to Israel only. Okay? However, the law of Moses only applied if it was not in conflict with the law of God. Think about that for a minute. Is the law of God different than the law of Moses? The law of God applies to everybody. The law of Moses only applied to Israel. Okay, think about that. Now, some Jews asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment in the law? He said two things. He said the greatest is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and strength. He said the second greatest is love your neighbor as yourself. Okay? In Matthew, he says, all the law and the prophets hung on those two commands. Okay? So the rules to love God and love each other overshadowed the law of Moses. All the law of Moses hinged on those two things. So as we read through the law of Moses, the Levitical law, we can find those two commands all through it. That's the basis of it. Okay? Now, we, however, now do not live under the law of Moses. So the law of Moses does not apply to us. Okay? In any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because that's not the law we live under. Now, Paul cautioned people. He said, if you want to keep the law, you need to remember something. That if you want to live under that law, it all applies to you. Every bit of it.
Amen.
And if you're going to live under the law of Moses, you have to obey every piece of it. Or you're in violation of it. All right? How many of you would like to live under the law of Moses? I would not. There's too many regulations under the law of Moses.
That's right.
We'd have to go to Jerusalem every year if we lived under the law of Moses. All of us. We'd have to do a whole lot of things that we don't do. Okay? But we no longer live under that law. So what law do we live under now? What is the overriding law that we live under?
God's law.
Sort of. Sort of. You think, whoa, wait a minute. It is God's law. No, it is not. It looks a whole lot like God's law. As a matter of fact, you can't tell them apart. But in Matthew 28, Jesus said, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on the earth.
Amen.
So it is Christ who is our law.
Amen.
Not only our law, he is the law of the angels.
Amen.
He is the law, period.
Yes.
He is, as it were, the Constitution,
Yes, Lord.
the overriding law. Now, when did that law start? Anybody? Anybody? When he died on the cross? Anybody else? When did it start? Huh?
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Anybody else? Okay. Let's look at some things Jesus said. He said, you heard it said to love your neighbor and hate your enemy. Who said that?
Amen.
Who said that? Jesus said, you've heard it said. Where did you hear that? He said, you've heard it said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Where did you hear that? Anybody? Come on, think about it. Huh?
Isn't it in the Bible?
Where?
I don't know exactly.
Okay, I'm not looking for chapter and verse.
Well, it's the Old Testament,
Where in the Old Testament? Huh?
Leviticus.
And that is under the law?
Moses.
Law of Moses. Okay. So Jesus is telling people in the New Testament, prior to his death, you have heard it said, da, 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 but I tell you. So when did the law of Christ start?
In the beginning.
Yeah.
We like to take this book and we like to say, oh, right here. Either on the cross or to resurrect, but that's what it started. No, it started a long time ago. Long, long time ago. He has been in the Constitution for a long time. Now, Jesus changed some things when he was here, right? He said, you've heard, but I'm telling you. Now, a lot of what he was doing then was to remind them or to reinforce the principles upon which the law of Moses was built. Okay? Those things. But in the law, he said the second greatest commandment was to love your neighbor as yourself. Is that the law of Christ?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
No?
Uh-uh. In John 13, he said, I give you a new command. That you love one another as I have loved you. So should you love one another. Now he upped the ante a little bit, didn't he? He said, don't love your neighbor as you love yourself. That ain't good enough. You love your neighbor like I love you. That's a little bit stiffer, a little more requirement there. Now Paul comes along and he says, the one who loves his fellow man has fulfilled the law. What law is he talking about? Well, hang on.
The greatest commandment.
Well, who's he writing to? This is in Romans 13. So who's he writing to? Huh?
To the church in Rome.
He's writing to the Church of God in Rome. He's writing to Christians. He's writing to Gentile Christians and Jewish Christians. Right? That's the law he's talking about, is the law that they live under. His law. Now, we go through here and we try to figure out all kinds of little requirements. Don't we? Don't we? Well, you got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know, if you're going to be a Christian, you can't drink. You can't swear. You can't this. You can't that. You can't all of these things. But Jesus says, I came to bring you freedom. Oh, no, hang on a minute. He came to bring rules. No, he didn't. He came to bring freedom. So what is the law of Christ? Huh? The law of Christ is to love your fellow man the way Jesus loves you. That is the law. And if you do that one thing, you have fulfilled the law.
Amen.
Okay? So, if I fulfill a law, what else do I have to do concerning that law?
Demonstrate.
Huh?
Demonstrate the love of God that's inside of you. Demonstrate
Okay.
God's love.
Is there anything I have to do besides love to fulfill Christ's law? No. If there's anything else I have to do, then love does not fulfill it. Okay? So, let's try something. Let's take this book and shut it and lay it down and say, okay, the law is to love your neighbor. That's the law.
Amen.
It's all the law you got to know. Okay? Now, what we've been doing for a few Sundays is trying to figure out what that means. What is love? Well, so far, we found out that love involves patience. We found out that love involves kindness. We have found out that you cannot be impatient and loving at the same time. That you cannot be unkind and loving at the same time. Now, I think this is absolutely of utmost importance that we learn what love is. It doesn't matter what we think love is, does it? What matters is what it is, what God says it is. Okay? We like to talk things, and I've heard it, I don't know how many times. How many of you have heard the term tough love? Woo, yeah. Can anybody find that in the Bible? It does not exist in the Bible. You say, well, it ought to. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't. Love exists in the Bible. Okay? That's what exists in the Bible. And if we want to know what it is, somebody told us. And it's in 1 Corinthians 13. So let's look at this. We'll just go over it a bit. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. And it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. And love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. And it always perseveres. Now that is what love is. Not what we think it is. That's what it is. And Paul goes on to say, that kind of love never fails. Never fails. Okay? So, we live under all kinds of laws, right? Now, within the laws of the state of Texas and U.S. law, if Jerry slanders me, I can sue him. I can take him to court, can't I? Legally, by law. And if he's guilty, the judge will impose some type of punishment on him for that. He may have to pay me money. He might have to go to jail. All kinds of things. Now, that is under the laws of the state of Texas and the United States of America. What is the law in the kingdom of Christ if Jerry slanders me?
You forgive him.
Huh?
You forgive him. You don't even think about it.
So can I sue him?
No. You can't sue him because you'd have to hold a grudge at least through the trial.
What else does that law say I'm supposed to do if Jerry slanders me, abuses me?
Throw out the sheets.
What else does it say I'm supposed to do?
Forgive.
We already talked about forgiving. What
It
else?
also says you can be angry, but you can be angry in Christ.
I mean, it says don't sin with it.
Just one.
Don't sin with it. You can get upset, but don't sin with it. What else am I supposed to do? It says I'm supposed to pray for him, and it says I'm supposed to bless him. It's hard to do that and sue him, isn't it?
You can say no hard feelings.
Well, it didn't say that.
I'm
It
just
just,
joking.
you know,
See some of this.
but I gotta forgive him. I gotta bless him.
You can't keep a record of wrong, so therefore you can't sue it. There's no record of wrong.
Hang on, but the laws in Texas and the United States say I can't. So what about that?
But you can love somebody, but not like their ways.
Oh, didn't say I had to
Christ
like it.
Jesus did that. He told his own disciple.
Didn't say I had to like it. It sure does not. And if he slanders me, I ain't gonna like it. I can tell you that.
But you don't take it to court. Well,
You
you
can go
because
to
because God will not forgive you if you don't forgive.
Well, can't I forgive him and sue him anyway? Come on,
Yes.
huh?
I know you can't because those are contradictory.
Oh,
Can
Do I have to return the property?
well, doesn't it say, didn't Jesus say that if someone takes what belongs to you, that you are not to demand it back?
you give him the coat also?
Doesn't it say that? Yeah. I mean, it says, like you say, and if he takes your coat, well, give him your shirt too. If he steals your car, fill it up with gas. Dude, that just doesn't feel right, does it?
Lay him out behind the barn.
Here, that feels right.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Now that feels right.
Yeah, that's what,
That-
but if we do that to our neighbor, that's what God will do to us.
That's taking the law into your own hand. That's not.
Can't you take, if you've been harmed by your neighbor and it's in the church, you might go to the elders of the church with, or another witness to
Well,
have them settle things for you?
Actually, if we're talking like that, it says that if I got something against Jerry or he's got something against me, there's a problem between Jerry and I, the first thing I need to do is go to Jerry
Amen.
and say, look, Jerry, we got a problem,
Amen.
okay? And try to work it out.
Yeah.
Now, it says if you can't do that,
Bring someone else along.
if Jerry just says, talk to the hand, I ain't listening. He said, then take somebody with you. And we go back to Jerry again and say, Jerry, I really would like to talk about this. You know? And Jerry looks at me and says, talk to the hand, ain't interested. Then it says, now you take it to the church. Now, what does that mean? You take it to the church. What does that mean? Think about that for a second.
Right.
Do I come to the church and say,
So,
y'all need to understand what Jerry's doing to me? And y'all need to do something about it because he ain't listening to me. Is that what he's talking about?
No.
What's he talking about? What happens if I bring it to the church?
Arbitration,
Huh?
arbitration, I guess. They decide whether you're wrong or he's wrong, and they look for solutions.
Well, does it really matter who's right or wrong? Really?
Well, you need to stop the argument somehow.
Somebody said something the other day that kind of struck a chord. The one that stops loving first loses.
My grandmother told me it takes two fools to argue.
So if I bring this problem with Jerry to the church, what is likely to happen?
There'll be resolution. We can go back to square one and start over. And
Who do you think a truly loving congregation is going to focus on if I bring it to the church? Me or Jerry?
You-
Jerry.
What? But Jerry's the problem, isn't he?
No,
This is when you were saying this, Galatians 6:1 came up. Brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. But watch yourselves, or you also may be tempted by the same thing.
So if I have a problem with Jerry and I bring it to you,
Then we've all got problems.
No, it's your problem.
means I got a problem too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So who needs to be restored to a position of love?
You
You're
did.
the one that loved it.
Me. Because if I loved Jerry, I would already be blessing him, wouldn't I? I would have already forgiven him, wouldn't I?
You'd put gas in the car.
I'd have put gas in his car,
Ain't clean windshield.
right? So this love rule doesn't always feel good, does it?
It's contrary to what we think.
It doesn't always fit with how we think.
That's why we're human,
Yeah.
and that's why we have God and Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And he says for us to try to grow and be like him.
Now, let's think about that for a minute. I'm talking about the situation where Jerry wrongs me and how we handle that. Did we ever wrong Jesus?
Yeah. Yes.
Did we ever wrong God?
Yeah.
How did he handle it?
He hung there and took it.
Huh?
He hung there and took it. We nailed
Stood
it.
by us. Yeah.
They didn't put him on the cross. He crawled up on it.
But we're gonna say he did it with joy.
Huh?
He did it with joy
Because he could see the other side.
because he could see the other side.
Don't know if he felt the joy when it was happening.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, he did pray for those people that were driving those nails. He did do that. But when he's hanging up there and he said, God, why have you forsaken me? I don't hear a lot of joy there. Don't hear a lot of joy there. And when he sat there and hung there and said, oh, it's finished. Don't know if there was a lot of joy there. Now, when he stepped out of that tomb, I'll bet there was. Whoo, I'll bet there was.
Yeah.
I just, when he stepped out of that tomb, to me, it was kind of like, take that, devil. You don't have them no more. I got them. I can see some joy there. You betcha. Our law, our supreme law, the law that overshadows everything that we do, that we think, every single solitary thing, is to love God and love each other. That is the supreme law. Doesn't matter what else. Okay? Now, what happens if we do that, if we do love like we're supposed to? Will we forgive? Of course we will. Will we bless those who persecute us? Of course we will.
In
Huh?
Sometimes it takes a little while to let it go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've always said blessing those that cursed you is not so hard the next day. It's pretty difficult to bless them while they're cursing you. That's where we need to strive to get to, and most of us aren't there yet. You know, because you go to persecuting me and I'm going to get upset, and I'm probably going to want to get even, and I'm probably going to want you to pay for it, and I probably want you to get what you deserve. And I have to think about it before I say, Lord, that is stupid, stupid, stupid. Quit that. Okay?
But as Christians, Christ chastises us. He spanks
Why?
us just like we're his children. We are his children, just like we recommend and teach our children and teach them the values of life and what have you. If we do Christ wrong, then we pay for it
Okay. Why does God chastise us? He says why.
because he loves us.
Bingo. Bingo. If I chastise Jimmy or Jim or Robert or for any other reason than the fact that I love them, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. Aren't I? It ain't right. Now, what I had planned for today You see if I got any time to do it with. Look, it says love does not envy. Now, we look at that. What does envy mean, anybody? It's, by the way, it's a Greek word, zeluo. What does that word mean?
Envy is
Huh?
to desire to be like somebody else or to have something they have.
Okay. Anybody else? Here's the thing. Here's a definition out of a lexicon. Means to burn with zeal, to be heated or to boil with envy, hatred, or anger. Or in a good sense, to be zealous in the pursuit of good, to desire earnestly to pursue, to desire one earnestly, to strive after, busy oneself about him, to exert oneself for one, that he may not be torn from me, to be the object of the zeal of others, to be zealously sought after, or to envy. Okay? Let's look and see how it's used in our New Testament. Okay? In Acts 7, verse 9. Because the patriarchs were jealous of Joseph, they sold him as a slave in Egypt, but God was with him. There, that word jealous is the word we're talking about. Okay? Now, in 1 Corinthians 12, verse 31, now eagerly desire the greater gifts.
Zealous.
Same word. Okay? Now, would you say when they used it for the patriarchs that sold Joseph, that's not a good way to do it? And yet the way he used it in 1 Corinthians 12 is a good way? Okay? In 14:1, follow the way of love and eagerly desire spirituality. Well, that's good, isn't it? Same word. There, Romans 14:39. Therefore, my brothers and sisters, be eager, same word, to prophesy. And do not forbid speaking in tongues. Uh-oh. And then it's still a good thing, isn't it? In 2 Corinthians 11, I am jealous, same word, for you with a godly jealousy. I promise you to one husband, to Christ, so that I might present you as a pure virgin to him. That's a good way, isn't it? That's a good use of that word. Okay. Now in Galatians.
Did you mention the word in Romans 10?
Not yet.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have that one. Go ahead and read that one.
Yeah, it says, but I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you.
Mm-hmm. That's not so good, is it? Okay. And then Galatians 4, he says, those people are zealous to win you over, but for no good. What they want is to alienate you from us so that you may have zeal for them. Again, zeal, same word. Okay? So that's not a good way, is it?
Zeal? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spell that.
Zeal.
Zeal.
Mhm.
Is
And
that
so-
the same as envy? Is it? I mean,
It's the same
different
word.
term.
Same base.
It's the same
I've
word.
never heard that word before.
Well, zealous comes
Okay.
from that. Okay?
It's like Ecclesiastes 4:4.
Okay.
It's
I didn't
bringing
mean to. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no,
I've
no.
never heard that word.
We need to understand it.
I saw that all toil and all achievement spring from one person's envy of another. If we are zealous to toil and achieve what that other person has, we're chasing the wind, it says.
Yep. Now here's Galatians 4 also. It is fine to be zealous, provided the purpose is good. and to be so always, not just when I'm with you. So he says, it's okay to be zealous, as long as your purpose is right.
You carry too far. That's what they call the zealots.
In James 4, you desire, same word, but do not have, so you kill. You covet, same word, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. Same word again, okay? And then in Revelation 3, those whom I love, I rebuke and discipline. So be earnest, same word again, and repent.
Amen.
So this word, zeluo, can be good or bad, depending on what's in here. Right? That's right. Now, Paul says that love is not this. So is he talking about all zeal, that love has no zeal at all? What's he saying about zeal or about envy?
Envy.
Why he wants us to be zealous for Christ Jesus and him alone.
And be joyful for the other person's good fortune. Don't wish it on yourself.
As we go through these attributes of love, he's talking about, and we talked about it a little bit this morning, it's about a state of being, not a state of doing. But this is how you are. If you are loving, then you are patient. Right? Every time you are impatient says you're not there yet. You're not there yet. You got to be patient. You can be angry, but be patient. Right? It says that love is kind. Not that love does kind. Love is kind. So it's a state of being. Okay? We talked this morning. I can do kind things for Retha without being kind. I can do them to get her goat. That's a kind thing, but it's not being kind. I can do kind things for Retha so that Jimmy can see them and see how wrong she is. Well, I'm not being kind to Retha, am I? No. And this is what he's talking about when love is kind. Whatever I do for Retha out of love will be kind. It will be. Okay? Because it's a state of who I am, what I'm doing. Okay? Now, love does not envy. Love does not zeluo in a bad sense. Because your heart has to be right. Okay? So I can be zealous, on fire for Christ. Okay? I can come in here and try my dead level best to get you to embrace Christ, to follow him. But if I try to get you to follow me, I'm out of it. I'm wrong. That's the wrong kind of zealous. Okay? I use this morning. Have any of you looked under the hood of Benny's Bronco? Mm-hmm. Oh, it'll turn you green. You just love that. It is so neat. And the other day I rode up the mountain with him. I can ride up in my car. I can ride up in his car. I can ride up in Jimmy's pickup, and my back hurts. I rode up in Benny's Bronco, and my back didn't hurt because his seats come right around here and keep me from doing this. And I went all the way to the top and didn't hurt. I'm like, wow. I was almost envious of his vehicle. No, I was. Sorry, I was. Okay? This is what he's talking about, that love is not. Okay? If I love any, I am so happy that he has that Bronco. I am so tickled that he has a vehicle that I would love to have one just like. Okay? Tickles me to death.
Wish you had his Bronco and he had something better.
And I'm glad he's got it. I really am. And I should be. Okay? Now, if the Lord chooses to bless me, hey, that'd be cool. But I'm glad he is already blessed with it.
Amen.
Okay? So I don't want what he's got. Okay? In any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't need Benny's neat house with his water catch system already in place and plenty of water and all. I should be really glad he's got it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm glad that Don has the tractor he's got. That's a new tractor. I like that tractor. I like using that tractor, you know. But I shouldn't be envious of it. Should I? I shouldn't wonder, well, how come he's got that tractor and I don't? You know, how come God would bless him with that before he blessed me with it? That's what love is not. Okay? That's what love is not. Now, we sang something this morning, the verse hit me. And it applies to us, okay? Because ain't nary one of us a spring chicken anymore, right? Time is now fleeting. The moments are passing. Passing from you and from me. Shadows are gathering. Death's night's coming. Coming for you.
I'd like to make just a
Yeah.
brief statement.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate all you people here, but a brother here had his Bible here, and I didn't bring one to this one. And but I read something in here that just sets everything up that our pastor was talking about. It was in a very a very place for not knowing whether I could get home or not. But anyway, I don't think I know that God talked to me one time when I was only 5 years old and said, I've got something for you to do. I want you to do with me someday. And said, not now, but I'll let you know. And so when I got over there where I was, I didn't look much like it. You know, a lot of you guys know that too. But this is a scripture that I made for my own. It's in Proverbs chapter 8, beginning verse number 34 and through 35. It says, blessed is a man who listens to me. And that's the Lord God speaking. Blessed is a man who listens to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorway. For whosoever finds me finds life. But I found life that I didn't know I was going to have. You know, I really thought I wouldn't have. But I did, because I remembered that verse. You know, and so many times I've thought that God spoke to me and says, son, I have something I want you to do someday, but not yet. I'll let you know. And all the years, from 5 to how 87, I think. But I don't play like I made myself young man. But I got that way because I did remember what I read that God spoke to me. And he told me, I got something for you to do someday, but not yet. I'll let you know. And I will only today, if I focus that thing in my life, that's what that word was used there. And I prayed probably 20 times a day, maybe, if not close to it anyway. But that's a blessed scripture. And it's Robert's book, Bible. I didn't write one this morning. And I opened it up, and there it was. And all this time, brother, I said, I don't know if that day has come or not, or whether it's in the future. But it might be, I hope it's in the future. And I'm glad it was in this book. Blessed is the man who listens to me. And then he has prayed many times with it. And he gave me a letter. He said, watch it daily at my doors. No other doors but God's doors. And whosoever finds me finds life.
Right.
So, Robert, I appreciate that word. And those chapters those few words that I read, and I would say, I express that. Praise God, I still know it. I still know He's my God.
Yeah.
And I don't want nobody else. He's enough. He takes care of me.
Amen.
God bless you.
Amen.
Now that's all these guys, all these and girls. All
Good to
right,
see you,
thank
Brother
you, Ben.
Don. Good to see you.
Now this little verse out of a song says, time's passing,
Yes,
and there's coming a time when it won't be anymore.
that's right.
Okay? Now, in Hebrews 4, it says that at one time God spoke of a day, but then later on, He spoke of another day, and He calls it today.
Yep.
Okay? When is loving other people going to become the most important law in your life?
Today.
It's got to be today, because
It's not phones.
today is all you've got. Okay? You got no promise of tomorrow at all. Okay? None. Now, we like to think that we have some special little dispensation or something, Now, we can look at Don. He's 87 years old.
86.
86. He's liable to die any day. Right? That's possible. We look at Jerry, we say, oh, does he have some problems? He could go anytime. His heart could go. It could just happen. I went to the doctor the other day and he says, hey, son, we might have a problem here. Like, you're kidding me. When are you going to learn to love? When are you going to learn that there ain't nothing in your life that is more important than that? Nothing.
It's not learn, it's do.
Huh?
It's not learn, it's do.
Well,
Do love.
we got to learn how important it is that we will dedicate ourselves to doing that. That I'm going to love Mike no matter what he does. Let me tell you the beautiful thing about loving somebody. I can love Karen and ain't a blessed thing she can do about it. Nothing. She cannot keep me from loving her,
Amen.
no matter what she does. She can jump up and down. She can point a gun at my, she can pull a stinking trigger. But she can't make me stop loving her.
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? She can do whatever she wants to do. Good or bad, don't matter. The only one that can make me quit loving her is me. Nobody else. Nobody. So I can just decide to keep on loving her. Or I can decide not to. One way pleases God and one way doesn't. And Jesus says, there is no command greater than these. You understand what that means? That there is absolutely nothing that is more important than loving God and loving other people. Nothing. Nothing. And until we get that, we haven't gotten what God's all about yet. We haven't. I hear people every day in discussions and stuff trying to figure out how to be justified by not doing that. That it's okay to bear a grudge. That it's okay to gossip, as long as it's true. You know, that it's okay to do all these unloving things. And folks, you cannot do it. It does not exist.
There's you probably read the book Sword and Switchblade. It's where David Wilkerson encounters Nicky Cruz, and David Wilkerson is confronting this major gang leader, and he said, and David tells Nicky Cruz, he says, "I love you." He said, "I'll pull this knife out and I will cut you in 1,000 pieces." And David Wilkerson said to him, "And every one of those pieces will still love you." There's an amazing phrase, and I recall hearing. Nicky Cruz, to this day, one of the greatest Hispanic evangelists in the world.
I didn't know that. I remember.
You want to teach Christ to a lost world? Love them. That's what you got. I don't care how well you know that book. Doesn't matter. You know? Doesn't matter how smart you are. Doesn't matter how many things you do. If you can't live it, you can't teach it. And if you live it, you will teach it. And people will see it. Some of them will be uncomfortable with it.
Yes.
It will make them so uncomfortable they want to hurt you. That's cool. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
I had a situation like that when I first became Mormon. I was living at the Young Women's YWCA, and there was a gal there. I have no idea why, because I wasn't talking to him or anything especially. You know, I just had my room and we shared a common room in the kitchen. One day she said, I'm going to put this needle in your eye or something, you know, just out of the blue. And that went on for like maybe 6 months, and I never showed any displeasure with her. And sure enough, it did put. One day she came to me crying and says, "I've been so mean to you." And, you know, I had no idea why, you know, but it did heap coals on her head, that's for sure, because I never put it back to her. I really didn't know what to do, frankly.
But we're going to continue to look at the attributes of love and try to figure out just what they are, so we can actually apply them to our lives. And that's the most important lesson we can learn. You know, I could preach here for 100 years, and there's no greater topic than that. Because that is what God is. And that's what we need to learn to be like.
Amen.
Let's pray. Father, help us to recognize who you are. to appreciate who you are. Because, Father, unless we do, we can't become like you. Can't become like your Son. Help us, Father, to commit in our hearts to be like your Son in every way we can. To give up this life we have that we try to control, that we think is so cool. And Father, help us to eagerly desire a life that's like Christ, even to the suffering. You know, it's the only way we'll ever know how to really count it pure joy to suffer, is if we understand we're being like him. Father, just help us to be stronger and help us to love and help us to become that. We pray in your Son's name. Amen.
Yeah.
Your turn, Jerry.
I don't have any announcements other
I have
than,
one.
okay,
I want to thank Margaret and Sue for coming down here cleaning up, decorating. They did a fantastic job. I really appreciate it.
you ladies go you're not unappreciated, but we do thank you ladies for what y'all do here. You do it all the time. We do thank you. All right.
I got a son, Jerry.
Okay, Robert, go ahead.
I went to the doctor the other day. They said it was just the reason I had the liver back thing is everything's okay. The medicine the doctor had been giving me in the hospital has made it do that, and everything's okay. And that's what they said.